Reverend Father John Ryan, C.S.C., it's an honor and a privilege for me, on the behalf of the Board of Directors and before this company of distinguished delegates and friends, to formally install you as the 9th President of King's College. You will have and hold all the powers, authority, and privileges of that office. The Board of Directors further charges you to carry out all the duties, obligations, and responsibilities of that office, knowing that you will give courageous and wise leadership to King's College as it fulfills its evolving mission. I hereby present to you the King's College Presidential Medal. May God grant you wisdom as you lead the College of Christ the King. Congratulations, Father.
Thank you very much. Members of the Board of Directors of King's College, Bishop Bambara, honored civic leaders, honored guests from colleges and universities throughout the country, members of the King's College community of students, faculty, staff, administrators, members of my religious community, the Congregation of Holy Cross, friends, and my dear family. I am deeply honored to be inaugurated today as the 9th President of King's College, and it is certainly wonderful to have so many good people come forward and say such wonderful things in their greetings, especially since I'm not even dead yet. Early after being selected as 9th President of King's College, my predecessor, Father O'Hara, suggested that I begin preparing for the presidential inauguration. This caught me off guard in a number of ways. First, I was clueless as to what a presidential inauguration involved. And second, and I'm somewhat embarrassed to say this, I was even more clueless as to the purpose of a presidential inauguration. Regarding the first point, I am greatly indebted to the Inauguration Planning Committee, who so generously and creatively made this event not only possible, but such a wonderful celebration for King's College, academic, and local communities. These preparations took equal parts of competency and charity. Regarding the second point, it took me a while to begin to appreciate why so many people would travel from near and far, disrupt their lives, and, at no small cost of time and resource, gather in this space for a presidential inauguration. One key to my evolving appreciation for a presidential inauguration came as I was reading about a college president who misspoke by calling the faculty his faculty. The faculty were quick to free him of any delusion. We are not your faculty, but you are our president. In similar fashion, this is not my inauguration so much as the inauguration of your president. This is an opportunity for us to celebrate and to give thanks for the King's College community, students, faculty, administrators, staff, board of directors, and for all those communities and persons that are so closely associated with King's College. The City of Wilkes-Barre, clergy of the Diocese of Scranton, the Congregation of Holy Cross, other academic communities, and in a special way, my family, friends, and neighbors. And so I would like to give words of thankfulness and some brief comments on my perception of what it is we are celebrating. To the people and clergy of the Diocese of Scranton, the first president of King's College, Holy Cross Father James Connerton, arrived in Wilkes-Barre on December 15th, 1945. His superior had given him $200 with which to buy his train ticket, purchase a typewriter, and begin the mission of starting King's College in Wilkes-Barre. Needless to say, without the financial and moral support of the people and clergy of the Diocese of Scranton, King's College would not have taken root and flourished. A special word of thanks to Bishop Bambara, the local clergy assembled here, who all have so generously continued their support of King's College. To the members of the Holy Cross community, 66 years ago, men, mostly from the University of Notre Dame, arrived in Wilkes-Barre to begin a new college in the educational tradition of Holy Cross. But that tradition would take place in a certain context, and that context would influence the educational tradition. The context was the coal mining industry, and the purpose was to educate the sons of coal miners, to provide these men with access to Catholic higher education. While our mission is no longer dedicated to educating the sons of coal miners, we still strive to bring access to Catholic higher education for men and women who struggle to get such access. 40% of our current student body are first-generation college students. Holy Cross continues to send men to Wilkes-Barre for the sake of this mission. The overwhelming majority of the Holy Cross religious here at King's College come from different parts of our country and world. On behalf of the people of Wilkes-Barre and the King's College community, I wish to offer our appreciation to the Holy Cross community for your continued dedication and service. I've said this before, but I think falling in love is a helpful way of thinking about the mission of higher education in general, and at King's College in particular. What could be more exciting and rewarding to help others fall in love? To fall in love with learning, a career choice, a vocation, a spouse, with truth, beauty, goodness, and God, are all ways in which us learning communities share a commitment to changing students' lives. A college or university is a place where professors, staff, students together, motivated and empowered by a love for learning, pursue the truth in various and sundry ways. To my colleagues at other institutions of higher education, may God bless your noble work of pursuing and loving the truth and changing lives in the process. Thank you for supporting King's College in this noble profession and sacred privilege of helping students fall in love with learning, truth, and beauty. A special word of thanks to the presidents of local colleges and universities assembled here, who have been so good and supportive to me personally in my transition to this new position. To the alumni gathered here, no doubt many of you, while at King's College, have fallen in love. Some of you met your future spouse here. Some discovered your vocation and career. Hopefully, many fell in love with learning, truth, beauty, goodness, and God. J.C. Blewett, who offered greetings on behalf of the alumni, is now pursuing his passion for higher education as a doctoral student of business at St. Louis University. I must say, I am personally touched that a former student is now pursuing a passion I share. To our alumni, I thank you for your accomplishments and the generous ways many of you have shared those accomplishments with our students in providing our students mentoring, financial support, and job opportunities. To faculty and staff at King's College, Joe Baltz, who represented the faculty and staff in presenting his greetings, is an outstanding example of dedicated service to the mission of King's College. Joe is a member of the first graduating class of King's College. His wife, Ann, the first employee of the college. Joe spent his entire career at King's and is still working here as an advisor to the president. I was recently reading Father Grimes's history of the early years at King's College, before there were even employees at the college, a time when prospective students were drafted to do college work before they were even given application. Dumped furniture on the sidewalk, and nobody was there to move it. I was the only able-bodied male in sight, and I ended up moving furniture for 2 hours before Father Duffy would give me an application. To all the dedicated faculty, staff, and administrators who work so selflessly in our shared commitment to changing students' lives, thank you. To my family, relatives, and friends, we are who we are, very often because of the experiences that happen to us early in our lives. By the amount of nurturing we receive from parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, neighbors, and friends. I am deeply indebted and blessed by such rich experiences and people. Over the years, while working with young people attempting to discern what they want to do with their lives or who they want to become, I ask them, who do you most admire and who models for you the person you most want to become? Their responses are rarely, if ever, well-known celebrities. They are generally parents, grandparents, siblings, or other caregivers, people who care deeply about them, people who love them at their awkward stages, picked them up when they fell, lived with them through messy periods of growth, who taught them in word and example how to be competent, proficient, caring, compassionate, responsible human beings. I did not ask that question by chance. It was because of the very important influence on my life made by the people I so much admire. And so to my mother Mary, sister Joan, brother-in-law Hal, nephew Hal, nieces Leslie and Caroline, my extended family, friends, neighbors, and friends, my deepest words of thankfulness and appreciation for all your years of love, patience, and support. To our students, you are the reason why King's College exists. You are the focus of our mission. The language of our most central statements of mission are dedicated towards you, to prepare you, as you heard, from meaningful and satisfying lives, to provide you the competence to see and the courage to act, to educate both your mind and heart. For many of us here, most of our lives, at least in terms of years, are behind us. But for you students, most of your life is yet to be lived. The community that is King's College exists to prepare you for that future life and to give you reasons to hope. Allow me to quote from Pope Benedict's encyclical, Saved by Hope. The present, even if it is arduous, can be lived and accepted if it leads toward a goal, if we can be sure of this goal, and if this goal is great enough to justify the effort of the journey. The one who has hope lives differently. The one who hopes has been granted the gift of new life. King's College has many hope bearers, men and women who have traveled paths similar to yours, the path of a King's College student. They have graduated, flourished, accomplished much in their social, professional, and spiritual lives. I have found these men and women to be ever so eager to share their insights and to support you students. Never hesitate to reach out to them and other friends of the college. They can be excellent sources for finding reasons to hope, reasons to believe in your future. Dear students, please know that you too are sources of hope. We that are older place in you our hope for a better and brighter tomorrow. In conclusion, and I have mentioned on other occasions, to be wary of a president who says in conclusion, for that is code for second wind. In conclusion, I wish to thank Brother John Page for his thoughtful, inspiring, and hope-filled words. Brother John was my novice master 25 years ago, and it was a special privilege to be present in South Bend, Indiana at his presidential inauguration 2 weeks ago to the hour as the fourth president of Holy Cross College. During his inaugural address, Brother Page invited the audience to imagine a future time when that community would be inaugurating their next president. I would invite this community to do the same. What will King's College be like when some of us gathered, perhaps in this very same space, comes to inaugurate the 10th president of King's College? For my part, I would not attempt to answer that question in terms of physical space or programs. That will be the joint effort of the King's College community and their strategic planning process. And, quite frankly, my track record of predicting the future is not that good. Rather, I would suggest we reflect on the attitude by which we move towards that day. Life, like it or not, eventually takes everything from us: our youth, our health, our relationships. I don't say this to be morbid, only to underscore the necessity of living life as a gift to be generously given. All is given to us on loan from God. It is both futile and unproductive to live our lives clutching, grasping, and fearful. At some future point, all we will have to show for our efforts are the blessings we have been to others and the blessings we have received. May the next president of King's College and the community he or she represents be the beneficiary of many years of faithful and generous blessings. May God bless us all.